Hey, wait. There it is. Look at us. Oh, good. It got just
Oh,
the
look at
groan.
that.
Yeah, it got just the groan.
Live stream coming soon.
Live stream coming soon. Go ahead and spam some long boys. Let's go ahead and throw some rocks in chat. Yeah, EDC. Boom. That's who we are.
Wait, are we streaming from EDC?
No.
Or are we streaming from Zweihander?
From Zweihander.
We're on Zweihander.
I had to go back and click on the stream itself. The live stream coming soon didn't update.
Sometimes I host it, but like it's been long enough and there's like no one watching on that channel because we just don't do enough on Sundays. So
Here it is.
Josh, did you change your mic by any chance?
No.
I'm just gonna boost you a little bit. You're a little quiet.
How's that?
That's better.
Okay.
And I
Sorry, it's
boosted
just
it
a little
too.
further away from my mouth. Okay.
Okay, so here's the fun stuff. Who remembers what happened? Not last week, not 2 weeks ago, or 3, 4, but you know, last time. Let's call it last time.
I tricked a guy into getting murdered.
You did trick a guy into getting murdered. Yeah.
Which guy?
The chef. Yeah.
We have
One of the
5 pounds of
prisoners
salt.
was the chef, and he was one of the people who was on the boat that we were after. So I showed up. He didn't recognize me, and I convinced him that the people who survived were getting offed, and that he needs to come with me. And then he came with me, and then he got shot in the back because he came with me.
It's pretty effed up,
Nice.
man. It's pretty effed up.
He deserved
Come with
it.
me if you want to live. Wink.
And then
I told him I wasn't going to kill him, and that was true, because one of the other people with us killed him.
yeah, you were on fire last game too because you also, I think, you had a hand in the Lake Swan getting killed as well.
Yeah, the Lake Swan is dead also.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he got
Toad
murdered.
murdered the heck out of him.
I mean, less important, but still important.
Less simple.
Oh yeah, I hacked a thing, so we knew what was delivered recently,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a bunch of stuff to make explosives.
Right.
Make a bomb. And,
And-
now we have an explosives expert working for us.
Nice.
Yeah. What was his name? I thought I
his
wrote it
name
down at the
was-
bottom.
It was like Toad
Uh,
or something.
Oh
Toad?
yes, it was definitely
Yeah.
Toad.
Yeah, Toad.
Because I have a theme. Yeah, Toad. Good old Toad. Okay. That thing you hacked, remind me. That was like the shipping manifest that was inside the inside that building there.
Yeah, it was. I found out the shipping manifest, and I removed all prisoners from the prisoner manifest.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Which is fun. Fun to do.
That's gonna do something eventually, but we might not be around long enough to see it.
Yeah. So the other thing that Toad has, because he was working for the Lake Swan, and he just got like sick of his shit. And
Yeah, the Lake Swan said, "You're gonna die here on this rock, Toad.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm leaving you."
yeah.
Yeah, he flat
Rude.
out told him that he lied about the passes or whatever. That he only had enough for what was it, like five or
Right.
something.
Not even enough for all us, including Toad. No, wait, enough.
No, it was because it wasn't counting Josh.
Oh yeah, it was 4.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's
So
you're
it's only
still
4.
you're still short one technically. But you're gonna have to cross that bridge when you come to it. But your new best friend Toad continues on to say, he looks over at Deca and he says, you've got some, I don't remember if he had a voice or not. It's like, you've got some skills with computers, huh?
Yes,
Goes,
it is very valuable.
this is good.
Oh yes,
The
You've
most
definitely
valuable.
done so much hacking over the course of this time.
I was in charge a little while of seeing to some of the Lake Swan's affairs. He's got weapons safe houses, caches all over the place. He made sure that he could bribe whoever he needed to. He kept his information reasonably compartmentalized for. He turns and he chuckles, an idiot. If I bring you to his database, can you get into it?
Probably. Says that me and this guy, and I point at Dax. If one of us can't get in, the other one can.
He nods. Very good.
That's how it's worked so far, at least.
Yeah.
I don't say that part out loud.
Right. That's fine. Yeah.
Give us a door,
he
though, we're
nods.
screwed.
What's that?
I said, give us a door, though, we're screwed.
He says, no, I can
No,
get us
no,
through
no.
the door.
We got laser
no.
cutters now. We're good.
I got 2 door opening
It didn't
tools.
work
We're
the
fine.
first time we used them.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to do in particular, or you're good to just follow him?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I want to get out of here.
Yeah. Then we will cut and fade away from that scene. Harkon.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you are?
Last I knew was on the that like prison base thing.
They're still there.
Okay. I went through a wall
Yeah.
or sealed the door behind. I don't remember. Ryfun couldn't see where I'd gone.
Right. Yeah. He doubled back when he realized you were not there. So you had gone in, and if I have taken my notes correctly, which is usually accurate, you have gone. You followed Arson, the man named Arson.
Yeah.
Arson took you down like a like metal scaffolding, metal stairway, one of those like the fire escape down a very tall building, right? Like it's just super circular, very repetitive, and it just seems to kind of go on forever, but pretty barren and devoid of anything else inside of it. As you've been following this guy for a while, because you like felt this compulsion basically to come down here, you've noticed that he's got a lot of body modifications. He's got a lot of like piercings, and he's got like a data jack, and then like there seem to be some electrodes planted in between like what is left of his hair, because I feel like either he was pretty bald or he had shaved it.
One of those like dreadlocks made out of wires.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's kind of try hard. But he doesn't seem to be saying anything as you're just kind of following him down.
Does he seem like in a rush, or is he taking steps like this is really familiar versus like the first time he's been down here?
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely his area.
Okay. Is he looking around for anyone who might be following us?
Nope. Seems to just have
Okay.
perfect confidence, that one. That you're just following behind him and he's where he needs to be.
Okay. I will ask, not super energetically, like, hey, so where are we heading to?
Says yeah, like he would turn just at the natural like landing between two sets of stairs and sort of half looks at you, responds, brought, I don't know if he'd said master, messiah, he'd say something to that effect, right? You brought pain here.
Is that a benefit or is that a sin?
Shakes his head. No, they were always coming here. You help them along. That means you're important.
Yeah. What can I say but you're welcome?
Yeah. Says, do you feel it? Do you feel them inside you?
I think I know what you're talking about. You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, he nods. He says, "You don't look too worse for wear. You must be tough. Most people."
I've had some things go through me recently.
Yeah, he like kind of gestures at his face, and you see he's got like, snake and spider bite, right? Like several ear piercings. He's got dimple piercings. He's like, "Yeah, I get it."
Yeah. No one's gonna hire you with any of that stuff.
That's messed up, man. That's not fair. That's judging.
I don't agree with it.
What'd you say, Riley?
I said it's not true. Just find a good old millennial job.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Hard
smiles
work.
and says, "I won't have to worry about that for too much longer, and neither will you."
Ah.
And he goes walking again.
Everything's coming together.
Yeah.
And I'll keep following him.
Sure. So, just in the interest of like, we don't want to spend 30 hours down this staircase, he takes you down 80 floors, like conservatively speaking, like a lot. Very, very deep. Honestly, pretty impressed that it hasn't flooded or broken. Like, just pretty legit.
Like around story 40 to 45. I'm like, okay, this is too much. Why don't you put in an elevator?
It's like we used to have one, but he sort of, aims, right, gives you one of those. He's like, Brave got a little nosy, a little too nosy for our tastes.
I know that game.
Yeah, I think the next scene, right, like we sort of crossfade to the door opening up. You're still keeping pretty much behind him.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got I definitely think we passed one of these labs earlier on. He's got like a very gruesome serial killer looking setup with like a cold metal slab, right, with like two actuating, like for legs and head, right, and body kind of stays there. The straps are definitely from something else, but they're very heavy duty. Just like dripping water from somewhere in the room, like just a pile of questionable fluid underneath the table that doesn't seem to belong to anything and seems to be unable to dry up. The dim glow of computers from the back room is sort of creating this like flickering wave effect, right? Because it's like the inconsistent static is just sort of like slowly illuminating the room in sheets of like black, white, and gray. And he just nods. He's like, "This is where it happens."
All right. This is a field of space OSHA violations, but let's make it happen.
Cool. I assume you want to be awake for it.
Do I have to keep my clothes on?
You it's either way is fine.
Right. Hit a button and all my clothes pop off.
Yeah.
Fast
Archon
release
is ready.
stripper option.
Yeah, we notice when we cut back from that the camera is like now only like shoulder level and up.
You don't want to see the rest of that.
Yeah, this is America, so we can do a lot of
And rough.
violence, but nothing else.
Yeah. People split in half is fine, but God forbid you see a titty before 18.
Exactly right. He's like, "All right, up on the table. It's easier this way."
I will hop on up.
Nice. So the fading shot from this scene, 3 or 4 like little automated drones come out of like the darkness of the back of the room. They're basically IV stands on treads, and they have like, once again 2 or 3 points of I just want to keep saying actuation, but that's not it. There's another term for it, but
Articulation.
Articulation, yeah. They're not very complicated, right? But they all just right as they come out. They are carrying giant like glass cylinders with like one needle that deposits into them, and then there's kind of several kind of dangling off of them and everything. And
You got danglies.
yeah, he straps down both of your arms unless you resist.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, and we just all three of the robots sort of come up, and then the wires just seem to be like animated as they right, and we get these really powerful like whipping sounds. And it would be shot very dramatic as we see them kind of like go back like a scorpion's tail, but we haven't seen them like swing forwards, and we cut away in a sharp diagonal fade.
Mm.
It'll be fun. Don't worry. Let's see that computer hacking technology check, yeah?
Show me potato salad.
It's time for my ability to hack.
Aprendo.
Do.
How do we do?
I want to reroll.
You want to reroll?
I want to reroll.
Nice.
I get 2 of these per game.
Oh my god.
If someone assisted me, that could have succeeded. But no one was.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that you notice is thankfully there's not like fail safes built into this, right? It's just he actually for all of the Lake Swans nonsense, he understood password security.
It's very important. It can't just be password 1. You gotta have at least a special character in there.
Right.
Man. Does that mean I try now?
Yeah, you can, but you do have to tell me what you're doing differently.
Alright, well, what did you do? Just straight up tried to, hack for a password?
Yeah, just be like, just normal like hacking, trying to suss out the password to get in.
Let's try it a completely different way. What was it? You were going for admin? I'll just try to break it so admin doesn't exist anymore.
My password.
Yeah.
Admin 1.
No, there's no. I am Overlord.
Okay, yeah, so you're just gonna like rip everything out of it forcibly.
Yes.
Okay.
At least try my best because I still have my ignore 1 skill rank.
Oh.
Boy.
Nice. So that's enough. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Critical success.
So you get a couple things out of this. In fact, the first and foremost is not only did he have multiple to the tune of about 6 different like fail-safe like hidey hole supply and weapon caches. You also find a file that he had been working with someone in a different like prison complex. Basically, he had found a fabricator, and he has what I can only describe as like junk helicopters, like basically the kind of stuff
Redneck vertibird.
Yeah, exactly. Basically the stuff that orcs would build. Like it will go up. It's it won't stay there, but it seems to have been part of his plan that he was thinking like getting a ship to land here was going to be really difficult, but he thought if he could get one into low orbit, he could get up to it. Right? And the with the crit success, you also have, his limited research and understanding of like the missile setup, the anti-aircraft turrets and such. Like he knew that it was not, you can't just fly up there. Like the system, the planet, the AI has defenses.
So us jumping really far was a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably what killed you, right?
Yeah. Fine. Alright, well, yeah, I reiterate this to everybody. We can probably use some of the information about the anti-aircraft stuff. We still need an aircraft.
We can use this shitty vertibird.
Yeah, so that won't get you out of the atmosphere, but it will get you, so you don't have to land on the planet, which is good because your ship really couldn't do that.
Yeah, our ship can't land, but it can get down. And this vertibird can't leave, but it can get up.
Through the power of
That'll
helping.
be fine.
Through the power of
Great.
teamwork. Both ships can work together.
No. Yeah, but disable anti-aircraft to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a trip out to get to them. They're not here, obviously.
I can't do. Wait, we never got the rebreathers I asked for.
We can find the rebreathers. We can find some somewhere.
Guess so. Maybe we can use these bombs too. The bombs help. Is it too
I mean, the
big?
bombs are not going to hurt, right?
Grab onto it and blow it up, and it'll propel you where you need to go.
Yeah, we're a Zelda Breath of the Wild speed run now.
Do the Halo rocket trick, just look at the ground.
Interesting.
At least use it to destroy the turrets, maybe.
So with all this information here, what is the plan? What would you like to do first? You can blow this place up because there was still a lot more explosives. You can just try bringing some more of it with you. You certainly took some already. There is the matter of the missing party member.
I think we shouldn't blow this place up because our party member is missing inside of here. But we should definitely get explosives. We should get enough explosives to blow up the anti-air turrets. And then search for rebreathers so we can go out and not die in the atmosphere.
I think we need the rebreathers to get to the turrets, right?
Yeah, but the explosives are in this building.
No.
Yeah, because you've already
know how
taken
many
some of it.
So explosives, rebreathers, destroy turrets, steal one of the shitty vehicles, and then jump into our ship in midair.
Yeah.
All right.
What could possibly go wrong?
I know, right? It seems so easy.
Okay, cool. So first plan, get more of the explosives and locate the actual anti-aircraft batteries.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Getting the explosives is not any trouble. And yeah, you're gonna want the rebreathers too. So tell me a little bit because remember there's still some adversaries in this area, the weird like rat people with their big man catchers and their halberds and stuff. So how do you want to go? Like, are you being like super cautious? Is there any sort of methodology to how you're like researching this area, searching it, looking for stuff?
I feel like
if we can avoid a fight, that'd be good, considering it's just me.
Yeah.
I do not want to fight.
Listen, I'll call rat people all day long. I just don't know if you guys can survive that.
No. I can't survive that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the landing supply station didn't have any of the rebreathers.
Yeah, I think we rolled
but we should. So we're gonna have to look in a different area for them. So, what areas? Maybe in like the lockers there. But someone might have.
I don't remember. I know we talked about them. I definitely know at least some of the ones that were looked in were empty, but I don't know that you searched every one.
Well, we can search every single one. That's okay.
Mhm.
I want a rebreather. Other than that, I would think that Lake Swan would have had a rebreather for himself.
Right.
He was planning on escaping, so that I'd probably want to search through his garbo too, back in his room.
Yeah, he probably has one, and then we would need one more because
Right.
we had two when we jumped down.
Oh, right. Okay, I like that. So go ahead and roll with somebody assisting, basically. Get an extra digit. We got a few other places to check now that it's been a little while. And I am gonna roll a d6 to see if the powers that be, the rat folk and the brave system, kind of deploy to go find you again.
How many grenades do I have left?
What's that?
Seeing how many grenades I have left.
Sorry, I'm just taking a here. Who wants to roll for the search?
I'll do it.
Nice.
What am I rolling?
Just any sort of like investigation, sort of like perception, right? You're all but tossing the place in a few locations.
I will do scrutinize. Any modifiers?
You're getting one assist die, so you roll another d10.
Nailed it. But I'm gonna do this. All right, nailed it with a 43,
Yeah.
which is what I needed.
And I need to roll my d6. So on a 6, they attack. Ooh, very close. So we full on Scooby Doo that moment as you're creeping down the lockers and you hear them coming and everybody jumps into a locker and they walk by.
Mm-hmm. Do-dun, 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 do-do, 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 do-do. Pink Panther theme going on.
And yeah, so the entire team, Toad included, one extra one for Josh. There are enough rebreathers for everybody now.
Oh yeah.
Good position to be in.
Well, that's step one. No, or step two actually, because we have explosives.
Yeah, well, it's like some of the aircraft batteries and stuff would be on the building, but some of them would be further out, like because they would pop up like the pins or whatever they're called, like the anti-tank, anti-car, like stuff that pops up at like checkpoints.
Bollards.
Bollards.
I think so. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Like I'm used to calling them like hedgehogs. Yeah, but like they definitely that.
They're talking about
Like the little yellow pillars that are like boop.
Yeah, but the ones that like can go up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
do you steal
bollards.
the helicopter
Bollards.
first,
What's that?
or later? So do we steal the helicopter first or later?
We
Yeah,
can't use the helicopter until the anti-aircraft is gone.
And the helicopter's
Oh,
like
yeah.
further out,
Right.
whereas this place is pretty close.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go deactivate some turrets.
So, do one of you want to do the actual roll for the explosives, or do you want to hand that off to Toad?
I am not.
Let's hand that
touching
off to the expert because
Okay.
Yeah.
none of us know how to do this.
Yeah. No, I like that. So we're gonna say that 5 stands. So there's still not going to be any combat. But they are either going to chase you down as you leave, or they are going to they're going to be doing their own thing when you sort of take off in the helicopter. But for now, to mess with the anti-aircraft stuff, they're fine and they're not there. I think Toad's a pretty talented demolitions expert, but I think that Toad is working with improper materials, or at least insufficient time. So let's roll to see how they do.
And also, if he blows himself up, it's a win-win.
Yeah. He does not have a reroll, but he has slightly over a 50% chance. Well, that's not great, is it?
Nope.
So somewhere around the time frame of like wiring this sequence of Toad spends a lot of time explaining to you where they're like, yeah, so the bunker and the embankments are, protected. So I'm gonna like blow that open, and then I'm gonna have a second like delayed fuse that falls in on top of them and then explodes, and that's what's gonna do it. So he's like sitting there wiring and everything, and he's up on the roof somewhere over the top of one of the turrets. And what would we rather see happen? Like he clicks a button and just boom, or a turret further down comes out of the hole and shoots him?
The latter is a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah, the latter. Probably.
Yeah. I like the idea that he's just like, like, yeah, he got like one of the spots right, but the other spot that he like tried to like jam shut was just a vent or something. So just he's just in the background, and just one of these turrets sort of slowly pops up.
He's sitting there like, I did it. And then, yeah, in the background.
Right. And y'all are just like watching from the security cam and just like, ooh. But on the plus side, he did leave the explosives up there. So all you gotta do is, beep beep, and it'll go. So I think that'll move us towards you're gonna have some overland travel for the party heading out to the helicopter, but I think we'll snap back down to Harkon if everybody's good with that.
That works for me.
Huh?
So Harkon, I don't imagine you were just waiting for a scenic, inspirational, climactic moment to like break free and attack this guy, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a either a willpower or whatever your like spell casting stuff is. We're like deep in the subconscious right now, pondering some mysteries.
Incantation. And I think I would still be wounded.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gotten any healing, have they?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
Ooh. I'm gonna try and reroll that.
Okay.
There we go. That's much more palatable.
Yeah. Okay. So you are having a conversation. There is a version of you that is, I don't know that idealized is the right word, but is like, in command of their own power, right? Somehow even more confident and self-assured than you are normally, and wants you to be all that you can be. There's another version of you that looks at a glance pretty sickly, like a little skinnier, like a little, like the eyes are sunken and kind of like red, right? And these kind of like black veins are shot through your neck, and you're sort of robed, and it looks like you've spent a little more time learning the magical and the arcane than anything else. And that one, there's definitely something moving underneath the robes, but you're not exactly sure what it is. And this isn't like well, you pick one or you pick the other, right? Like you're just you, and you're kind of looking at these different directions that are sort of tugging you in each direction. And I'm kind of curious, like, do you have questions for yourself? Do we cut in on you telling yourself something? Like, what's the scene like here?
My like the alignment things, the diametrically opposing ones
Yeah.
are like zeal and then fanaticism. So I think he's interpreting that more as a like kind of a last chance to say goodbye and shed off weaknesses. Like he's being presented this opportunity that's obviously not going to be easy or painless, and so that sickly version of himself that he sees is more more of a temptation than a warning to him right now. So I think he would look at that as like, I have to succeed in spite of this, not maybe I should slow my roll and think twice.
Gotcha. Okay. And so this kind of sickly looking version of you begins like a easy coughing fit, right? Wipes away the blood that comes out of their mouth, and when they do that, you can see that you are like that. Their skin and their arm are like transparent and like with this like mesh lattice, and they're just these like ropey vines that kind of make up the muscular tissue of your arm. Right? You just sort of
Pathetic.
says, no, you mistake a lack comprehension beyond physical form for weakness. No. He points at the sort of like confident and self-assured one, right? He would have you give it all up. Have you leave behind the dangers. I say embrace them, master them. This body is just a shell.
So this one's telling me to go for it then.
Mm-hmm. Do you have questions for the other one? Do you turn and see what it says?
I'll look at it expectantly.
Okay.
See if it says anything. Like rebuttal?
Yeah. So the other one shakes his head, says, no, says, you right now, you're in pain. I'm beyond that. I let that go. That wasn't us. That wasn't mine. He points towards the weird coughing figure. He says, it's just an infection. Just want you to ignore it. It's a parasite. It's not a symbiosis. No. He says, look at us. The golden god. Resplendent.
I should do this then, right? Just cut out all the little bits of weakness.
And anything that is not truly you.
Thank you, me. You've always given me the best advice.
Yeah, he throws his head back and laughs, and the other one just begins coughing and sort of like murmuring, growling a little bit, right? Like not actually saying anything, just unhappy mushroom noises would probably be the subtext.
Yep.
I'll look at the sickly one and tell him like you can go. Dismissed.
Yeah, he fades into the darkness.
Just imagining like the little Den of Evil Diablo dude dying noises.
Pretty much. There'd be like a bug in the game where if you like keep clicking on where he was, even though he's not there anymore, as he continues like making the last couple coughing noises again. We just never patched it out.
Yeah. Now it's a feature.
Yeah. So when you like return kind of to consciousness, right? All of these needles have been like stuck in you, and right, they'd be spaced out in some arcane manner and everything. And Arson's just standing above you, nodding, right? He's got like all of his teeth filed down, sharp. And he's like, "All right, man. You did it."
I did it.
And he presses like a switch that's kind of dangling next to him, and there's just this awful vacuuming noise, and then all three of these robots they just start filling up with your blood, but also like that sickly vapor that like infected you so long ago. And the conversation you already had with yourself was kind of like the to preface your understanding, right? Your character screen would suddenly get a warning. It's like, do you want to lose, the mushroom infection? Do you want to lose? I will carry them like pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just like, I mean, you can, I guess you can tell me your role if you're like a real badass, but I imagine just like unimaginable amounts of pain as these multiple demon / infections are sucked out of you forcibly.
Yeah. Was it? I think it's the first Men in Black when Will Smith's character is going through and he's having like his fingerprints removed, and they're like getting burned off by like a plasma bulb or whatever. And you can tell he's trying to hold it in, and it's just like, "Rah!" It's like that.
Yeah. It's not that you're not tough. It's just that the shit done hurted.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that would echo all through, the room, and we would do this like cool drone shot pulling back out of the massive spiraling staircase and everything. And yeah, so the other group is heading out. I think heading out to the helicopters. This is actually probably a really good first break. Everybody's cool with that.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay. So this one will be a touch longer because I think a few people are going to grab something to eat quick. And then we will come back and we will do overland travel out to the helicopter. We will do getting Harakan back with the rest of the party, or him communicating to get picked up by them, and then y'all have to figure out who's and what ship is getting into the lower atmosphere and not blow up or die trying.
Yes.
Oh.
Sounds
Standard
Easy.
day.
Okay. All right. BRB. Oops. I was eating potato chip. I'm sorry.
Ugh, how dare.
Mm-hmm. Also, look at this weird snake that's found its way into my room. I see part of him. Camera.
It's a fuzzy snake.
Yeah. Okay. So in keeping with our normal like overland rules, you're gonna need someone in charge of like spotting out danger and the path. Someone worrying about food. And somebody setting the pace. So some sort of like toughness, athletics, acrobatics, endurance kind of thing. Some sort of like perception, survival, and any sort of like navigational check. We're pretty flexible here. We're gonna use it to abstract because I kind of know what it looks like to get out to where these supply caches are, but I kind of want to use a couple rolls to figure out exactly how quickly, how effectively, and what kind of danger you run into if you're getting out there.
I can do the
Let's
tough
see.
guy stuff.
Yeah,
You can do the tough guy stuff.
Yeah.
set the actual pace.
Perception.
Yeah. Rolling toughness, is that acceptable? Or does it have to be athletics?
Nope, no, they're pretty fast and loose. It's just, hey, here are your kind of options. Tell me, what you roll kind of informs how you're doing it.
I would
Devin,
like
I
to
suggest
roll that.
re-rolling.
Okay, do perception. I think that's the only other thing I'm good at other than intelligence.
Ooh.
I'm not actually
And,
sure. I feel like we might have checked before if you could re-roll a crit failure or not. I don't have to go to the rulebook on that one.
I feel like we looked it up, but I cannot remember what it was.
Let's see the other two.
What are the other two things we need? We
So
got
that was the tough guy
toughness.
stuff, setting the pace. So the navigation and the like general awareness of, is there anything around?
I got fruit.
Navigation.
Literally fade of
So
hair.
screw.
Okay, scrutinize is pretty effective.
What do I have for a navigation? I would suggest navigation, but you need to be trained to use that.
Oh,
Well, no, I don't have that either, so it wouldn't have been any help.
I don't know. Survival?
yeah, I can see
And
survival.
navigation.
That's the closest thing to navigation that's not navigation on this list. Oh no! That's bad.
All right, we're gonna have to consult some ancient texts here. Let's see, because we've got a matched failure and a crit fail potential.
But I'm gonna be able to scrutinize the horrible situation. we're
Yeah,
in.
you see it in perfect clarity as it unfolds in front of you.
You cannot use a fortune point to re-roll a critical failure.
Mm,
Yeah.
But is it a crit failure when it's a matched and you don't succeed?
I have to find that.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes, it is a critical fail. 2 critical fails on that.
oh no,
We're doing great, team.
Look at
we
that.
were doing so well.
Look at that. Okay. So, several weeks later, Archon stumbles across their dead bodies, huddled together for warmth under the set. And I'm kidding. Great campaign, everybody.
At the end.
So coming out of a Brave. It's not the Brave system. Brave compound, maybe is what I was calling it. You very quickly you go about 2 or 3 miles away, and then there's just this dried up riverbed, and you take that up into like the low mountains, like the rolling hills into the low mountains, and that's where like the hideaways were stashed, right? And these weapons caches, because there was the processing plant was basically on the other side of the mountains, because there's a lot of these prison complexes dotted across the landscape. They're all ostensibly owned by the same person, or they were put here for the same reason under the same guiding guiding light, but like guiding firm. I don't know, whoever
Administration.
yeah, administration, exactly. But that has long since been changed. So I think what we have happen here is just fashion melee.
Oh.
If y'all want to do like a fighting retreat, you can definitely do that. Because I know before you were pretty hesitant to like get into a full scale combat.
Sure. What do you want me to roll for that?
Well, I'm gonna get him. Get him onto the battlefield.
Uh-oh.
Kind of see. Oh, it's annoying. One of the maps I just pulled up was gridded. Didn't really want it to be.
Oh.
Can't complain though. It's just in the free assets, but
Yeah.
I think I moved you to this map, didn't I?
No. Yes, I can see you editing.
Wait, I'm
I would
seeing
need to
it
bring
here.
my character.
I thought it was like a click and drag.
You click and hold on the name.
Yeah, it's weird.
There we go.
It's weird that it's the name.
I kept clicking on the picture. That was my first mistake.
Your first mistake was to assume the thing that seemed obvious.
Uh-huh. Okay. Hell yeah. I like that way more than what I was thinking. I was just gonna throw more rat people at you, but I was like, oh, I bet they have some sweet robot rats. Don't worry,
Robot
It's not a
Josh.
robot rat.
Don't
It's not
worry,
a robot
Josh. You're
rat.
safe. You're not there.
Yet. Superman through the earth and then see the spider and just keep going.
He's like, nah, never mind. I'm good. Okay. So everyone that's
No
going to
more.
take place in this combat, go ahead and roll a 10 plus agility.
Okay.
I can get the plus symbol to work. What's my agility? Oh,
Alright, well. And then I thought that would just roll it, but it didn't. How could they do this to me? 10 plus.
It's not that one.
No.
And you clicked it twice, Dave. Great job.
Am I just an idiot? Why is this not working? /RD10, right?
R space D10.
/R space. Just no period. Josh, did you roll?
Oh no, I didn't think it was part of this.
I was thinking you were going to be back and they were going to have to pick you up later, but I think we might go this way for a while, depending on how this combat goes. So I think we'll have you catch up, and we can just flash back if there's anything we need clarity on for what's his face there?
Josh got a 10, but he put 2
Failed.
pluses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
it
wrote a plus, and then I looked for my agility bonus, and then I did +3 without really
Right.
thinking about it. Expecting it to work with Excel logic, which is my mistake.
Okay, what did everyone roll? And Josh, do you have a token out on the battlefield?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't yet.
I have edited my number, Dave.
Oh, look at you.
I have. I didn't put it in. No.
Shane also got a 9,
I also got a 9.
but you rolled way lower than I did. Holy crap.
I got more agility.
Well, you didn't roll way lower. You rolled 1 lower.
I got more agility because I'm just better than you.
We're just
Oh, shut the
gonna
hell
have
up.
you skip the first round, Josh, but then we'll have you there.
That title, though.
His fucking
It's so
title.
it's so long it can't get above the spider. Like I kept trying, and the spider was like, "Nah, he goes first."
You're welcome.
Oh, I have more agility than you because I have an advance in it. That's why. I was like, what the fuck? Why do I actually have more than you?
Yeah, you're like, all right, what do we mess? I do that too. There's times where I'm like, that worked. What did I do wrong?
This is too good. Where'd I go wrong on my math?
Yeah, no, it's so bad. Sometimes it's the best too when nobody else notices, and right, like you're going around the table and you got like 76 or something, and then people are like 24, and then somebody's like 31. They're like, oh, and you're like, fuck. I have 18 seconds to figure out what I did wrong. Just me?
That happens to me sometimes, but mainly when I'm playing a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Abraham Lincoln somehow.
I was trying to think of like what would actually be out here. Like the way the planet, it's a whole prison planet. The way it's set up is like y'all haven't like gotten to this part yet, but like it knows that people are gonna try to escape. So it doesn't punish you necessarily for escaping, but it does make it very hard and has systems to make sure that you don't and can't. So I was like, well, there's not like weird civilizations living outside of this, you know what I mean? Like most people have figured out how to live in harmony with like the weird AI jail keepers, you know what I mean? Even if like each one is a little different and each like bunker is kind of unique. So I was like, what is out here? And it's like, it's just weird techno robot shit. Robot spiders hunting robot food couriers. Seems fine.
It's those robots that shoot lasers from Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah,
They're out
absolutely.
here just killing you.
This was all an elaborate trap to just play Zelda Breath of the Wild RPG. Thanks, Wyhander, for letting us live our dream. Okay. So Josh, you're like chasing them down, following the signs of them. It's a good thing they did terribly on their overland backpacking. You would have never caught up to them.
Found it.
A survivor role to make their tracks hidden just wound up with like one of those Bugs Bunny neon signs like, we went this way.
You're like, Be helpful. And then Becca,
Yeah.
you're up first. So you're like crossing over, and between you and oh, not Rife. Is it Rifon? Rifon and Harkon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Between you and Rifon, you're like, okay, and then we're just gonna go through this cave network, and we'll be right in one of these. And then you see like the of all the lights, right, from the robot spiders illuminate, and then you don't really even have time to react as they just like right come scuttling out after you.
Oh man,
Oh shit.
What do you do?
upsetting way the spiders
Attention,
scuttle.
prisoner. You have entered a no travel zone.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna shoot at it with my gun and miss because I suck at using my gun. Specifically, this top one.
Shane, use an action to aim. It gives you +10.
It's true. It's pretty good.
Sure, I'll use an action to aim. Dude, can I aim and shoot on the same turn?
Yes, they
Yeah.
both cost 1.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
just
aim
can't
and then
move,
I shoot.
but
That's
that's
fine.
You just yeah.
I'm not planning on moving. Ooh, look at that. I
Hey.
rolled a 24,
Look
Hey,
at that. Let's see.
and I rolled a 6 and then a 1 after it.
He's like, and then another number happened, and then I brushed my teeth and I ate some toast.
Yeah, I got so many things. I did 13 damage to this robot, which is 13 more than I expected.
Right. Yeah, I think you got. Well, I don't quite got enough too. I did not have the right character or right part of the book. Okay, yeah, just one, unfortunately, for the damage threshold, but still, actually,
It's
very
fine.
high. They have a very high damage threshold. Which one did you want to attack? Does it matter?
I said this one
Okay.
before I attacked.
Cool.
So I'm sticking with that one.
All right, I'm just gonna put a one there. Keep it simple because they're not. Well, I guess 2 because they're not unharmed or whatever. They're so what is it? 5 levels.
Say that again? You
Mhm.
kind of cut out there.
They're
There are
not
5 levels.
5 levels of like harm because it's like unhindered.
Unharmed, lightly wounded, moderately wounded, severely wounded, grievously wounded, and slain.
Yeah.
So 6, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would only count it as 5.
Yeah, I mean, when you
damage.
get to the, I guess when you get to the, because there's really no point in counting the first one.
Yeah.
So damage conditions, those only go away after resting and stuff too.
Yeah, you can get the peril down, but the damage is the one that stays until you have some pretty good healing.
So we didn't even get peril down though. Oh boy.
Do you have anything else you want to do, or that was your 2?
That's it. I aim and then I shoot.
Right.
All right, so that's me.
Yeah.
I will shoot the one that Shane Deca shot. I will shoot it with my heavy machine gun. I will aim and burst fire at it.
Nice.
So it is this. And then because Shane is an elf and in the combat, I get +10.
Mm-hmm.
And aim gives me +10. So I'm getting a +20 to this.
Damn. Good
What?
hit, lots of
Rating
damage.
0.
What's that?
Okay, that was just weird. I'm actually doing more damage. Just one more. So burst
Jeez.
fire lets me add my tens digit to the roll, so I'm
Yes.
doing 17.
Okay, cool. That is enough for 2 more, so it would be seriously wounded now.
Then it would take a wound at moderately and then seriously.
Yeah, when we looked that up, it only happens once, which I thought was kind of weird, but it does cut down a little on the.
Okay,
So I think I roll 2d6, and if there's a 6 on either of them, I take it.
I think so.
Something to that effect. All right, not this time. But the spider boy is not doing so hot. Anything else you want to do?
No, I cannot do anything else.
All right. Spiders will actually take their turn. So, got one. It's actually going to retreat. I actually don't want to be here anymore. But the other one, excuse me, slides up.
It's too close. How dare it come that
Like
close to us?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get you. And as it comes scuttling up, got robo teeth or robo pincers. It makes it. Looks like Rython's in front. Did you save any AP or no?
Yes, I have one.
Okay. So if you want to try parrying, I think.
Yes, I will attempt to parry. Oh, I scrolled down too far. Is there any modifier?
I think it's just
Difficulty?
straight.
Just straight. Okay. Made it.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. So the robotic mandibles of this spider come crashing down on you, but you're able to. What do you? Is that your armor, or do you sort of like block it with one of your close combat weapons?
I kind of like block it with one of my close combat weapons.
Nice. Good deal. Yeah. Now in the back, this big old thing like fires up, like it starts like spinning and whirring as if something was happening. And you can hear like it's very similar to if you broke like a gumball machine, or if like somebody like dropped like 1,000 bouncy balls down a staircase. It's none of them are loud, but it's the sound of hundreds of things moving all at once. But you don't see anything else happen.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually that went too early. I apologize. I should have gone after Dax. But that's all it does. So Riley, you're up. And we'll do it right next time.
God. Well, the spider's too close, so I'm freaking out. I want to hide behind a rock. Is there a rock somewhere?
Oh, absolutely. You could easily move like back down the hill a little bit and take better cover.
Got it. Like here. So it's better cover.
What's up?
Oh man. I want to use my grenade, but against my better judgment, it's too close to everyone else. So I guess I take this gun that I've never fired and hold it in my hands and stare at it for a little bit, freaking out. I
Right.
try to load it, and I put the magazine like in backwards and trying to figure out why it's not going in. I'm gonna-
Please.
And then eventually I figure it out, and then I'll aim and fire and close my eyes while doing it. So I freak out.
Let's see. Damn.
Nailed it.
My God.
Can't be stopped. You've been
Except-
all those drills with Ryphon are paying off.
Oh, what weapon are you using?
Oops. The pacemaker. I forgot to.
The Peacemaker by force.
Yeah. Where is it? Whenever a foe is struck by weapons of this quality, they suffer a -10 base chance to dodge or parry.
What we're looking for is the damage.
Damage.
Well, it'll be a
damage.
D6 plus whatever traits it might have.
Oh,
Um,
the Peacemaker?
Yes.
fast,
That's my gun.
finesse, weak.
So,
It has finesse, so you use your agility bonus.
yeah.
It can only inflict
So-
moderate or serious injuries, never grievous.
So that'd be
+4.
so it'd be like this. /R D6 exclamation point +4.
Oh,
Your agility bonus is
exclamation
4.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the exclamation point?
Exploding dice.
Yeah, if you roll a 6 with the exclamation point, it'll just roll another dice automatically.
The
But you roll the
fury,
one.
the
So.
fury of the Gosh Emperor or whatever.
That's that wasn't good.
No.
Wow. Did damage
You just
though.
winged it.
Probably,
Well, I mean, I guess actually he did not do damage, but it was better than missing.
Yeah.
You can feel confident knowing you did at least hit the stupid thing.
I wouldn't know. I closed my eyes.
All right. Slide on down. So that thing actually already went. So Harkon, go ahead and narrate this for me as you come over the hill and see this fuckery.
I am happy to see them alive at least. Not thrilled to see them in danger that only I can save them from. So it's really lucky for them that I came when I did. If anyone's buying that. I will like jog into view, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just walk because I don't think I'll ever get there in time, but I don't want to look panicked at all. And I want to blast it with some magic. Do we get any kind of a like size bonus or anything?
I don't think there's a size bonus with this guy actually.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for the spider too.
Yeah.
Because it's like right on top of them. So incantation. Successful.
Nice.
And it's a D10 plus my bonus, I think. Yeah, okay. And I roll a D6. So 8 magic damage. And I don't generate any winds of chaos or whatever they call it.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know if that's enough to do anything to it.
I think that's exactly.
Hey.
Yes, that's exactly enough. So you take it from uninjured or whatever, unharmed, to the first stage.
Oh, I thought it was like. Oh no, there were 2, weren't there? The other
Yeah.
one ran away. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
No, you're good.
It was less trying to call you out. I was like, wait, oh god,
Yeah.
did it heal?
Yeah. No. I just like you may very well want to go after it, but I just feel like they would retreat. Like they're smarter. They don't want to die.
Oh, they have feelings. That's even more unsettling.
And yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Deca.
Use me.
You briefly consider if you could hack these robots and make them do what you want.
I feel like if we weren't in combat with them, I could definitely do that.
Hmm.
But it's a little hard to hack something while it's trying to stab at you.
Right.
So instead, I'm just gonna shoot at the spider that got too close to me.
Sure.
I'm going to aim and then shoot at the spider.
Nice. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I missed though. Pretty
Missed.
badly.
Well, do you want a reroll or are you content?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of gunfire, a lot of errant gunfire.
Man.
On this hill. We'll pass it along to Ryphon.
Okay. I'm going to. It's still in melee combat with me, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. I am going to swap to my chain blade. I can do that as a free action. It looks like. And then I will attack it two-handedly because I get a little extra damage out of that.
Nice.
What if I wanted to like back off and then so I could do a charge attack? Like how dangerous would that be?
You have to spend AP to not get attacked, or I hit you.
Okay. Is it 1 AP or is it more than 1?
I do not remember. I'd have to look it up. Call it 1 for right now.
Okay. Well then I will spend 1 AP to disengage and back up enough feet, and then 2 AP to do a charge attack.
Nice.
Okay, so that is. There's my character sheet. Because I'm doing a charge, it does plus D6 exclamation point. And Shane is in combat, so I am doing it at plus 10. Did that roll?
I didn't hear it do anything. Might be thinking about
Yeah.
it though. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, you hit.
Hey, you
It
got
did
it.
hit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 12 damage it looks like.
Yeah, that'll put it up. Actually, only puts it up 1 more though. Enough for the first level, but not enough for the second. Oh, your gun was the one last time that let you add in your tens digit, huh? I
Yes.
was like, wait a minute, how did you? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep. That's all my AP for the turn.
Yeah, I mean it looks cool, right? Because you kind of dodge back and then run in, fuck his day up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So of the 2 spiders, the one that's still there will continue. Is the right one? So you're still in melee, so it'll just spin around and grab you. Try to, but it misses, and I don't think I have any points, so I will pass that along to Dax.
Oh boy. Do the same thing again.
Nothing wrong with it.
Well, actually, I want to look at that one robot. Is it like too far away for me to really understand like what it is?
No, it's just kind of like retreated and gotten a little bit of cover.
Because I would like to, I don't know, maybe scrutinize it or whatever.
You want to do what?
Figure out. kind of like look at it. Does it look like it's something made for digging, something
wait,
made for shooting,
this?
floating? Yeah, the giant weird
Oh, I
robot.
apologize.
that
I thought you were
was
talking about the spider that backed off. Yeah, you can scrutinize that other thing. It's still right there. It's just like big and machine-like and kind of complicated looking. Yeah, sure. What
I
it's doing?
want to stare.
What's that?
Yeah, I want to stare at it and maybe figure out.
How badly do you want to stare at it and look at it and figure it out? Like a reroll or?
mm,
Yes. do
yeah,
it.
sure, why not? Let me re-roll that and delete 8 point. All right, scrutinize, please.
Oh.
Oop.
Mm.
So unfortunately, you're just staring at it and like you can tell something's going on, but you're like, boy, I can't quite piece it together. Something,
It's
definitely something.
it's a machine. I know that much, right?
Definitely.
Rained on by missiles.
Trying to find the table that has all the qualities.
For like
It's
weapons?
in the
Yeah.
core book, and then there are a couple of additional ones, I think, in the Dark Astral book.
Yeah, I couldn't. Didn't recognize
It's-
one, but I couldn't find it in the Dark Astral.
Well, do I still have the ability to aim
Yeah.
and shoot, or
Yeah.
okay, all right, I shall do that again, since I clearly felt like I missed the last time.
Right.
I'll do it properly this time.
Yeah, I mean, I
yes.
think you're zinging it, but it's just tough to.
Oh whoa!
What's that?
I messed up.
Oh.
I messed up the equation for the damage, so I gotta fix that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Weapon
I missed
qualities
that.
are on
Yeah, I finally
225.
found them.
Okay.
I don't know why it was so complicated. We have it. Okay. So, here's the bad news. This thing has finished firing up. And it is
And
going.
now it's firing at us.
Yes. It's going to hit the
Oh,
two
God.
of you. Dax and Dekka. It's coming for you.
I'm behind the
It is using the stat block of the Thunder Cannon. So it's got Alien, Cell, Powerful, Punishing, and Shrapnel.
Sounds
But
like
you're
it's
fine.
gonna kill me.
You're fine as long as you have a little bit more resistance than your average bunker.
Yeah.
I
So alien means if it were a human, which it's not, it would flip to fail. So we're fine there. Cell is
That just means it requires power.
yeah, totally fine, no problem there. Powerful, which I think is in the original book.
Powerful. Immediately after striking an engaged foe, you push them away.
Okay.
They're not engaged with you, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, doesn't do anything. Punishing and shrapnel probably all in the original book as well.
You can punishing. You can add a D6 Fury die to total damage by spending an additional action point.
Okay. And shrapnel.
That's just like cone, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
probably how I was able to hit multiple. Okay. So that's not too bad. This thing for its stat. Okay. So
Until he rolls 2 6s.
what's that? Oh yeah, until it rolls two
Until you
sixes.
roll 2 6s.
The shrapnel, I still have to hit them, right? Even though it's a
Yes.
it's a shrapnel.
Yeah, so they still have the opportunity to dodge out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. So we will do
You
Dekka?
do one attack for both of them though.
Oh, it's one for both?
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Well, then they
believe
both
so.
hit. So who has AP left?
no.
Do you get 2 per round or 3?
3. You get
Okay.
3 per round. One
and,
is an
and
attack.
aim is 1, right?
Aim is 1. Attack
Okay.
is 1.
Cool. So Shane, you at least
Nice.
have 1. Riley, I think you have 2 technically.
Well,
Are you
no,
saying-
I aimed and shot. I
Oh, okay.
think.
Okay, so you both have the chance to dodge out of the way of this. So this is superheated spider eggs. That
What?
superheated
Excuse me?
spider eggs.
So it's shooting spicy eggs at us?
Spider eggs. Superheated spider eggs. Superheated spider eggs.
I dodge
So
like
Dave,
a pro.
Nice. What's up?
Getting exactly what I need.
the thunder gun does semi-auto, burst, and fully automatic.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do burst, you can add in the tens digit of its attack die,
Ooh.
and then full auto. How does that work with shrapnel? So
I'm
like
looking
full
for
auto
that.
says you can target up to, I don't know, 3 people or something like that. So maybe it's 3 people, and then everyone in the cone also gets hit, which is just fucking.
Just
That feels
sweeps
weird.
30% of the battlefield. I'm not too worried about it. I just had it hit the 2 people because I was looking at the cone design.
Okay.
So Riley, your character
There it
sheet
is.
should let you do dodge.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just took me a second to,
Oh, that's
to
okay.
find it.
Oh, Riley, no.
My
Oh.
God,
Do you still have a reroll?
I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to use it too. This is gonna end up worse than what I just rolled. I know it.
It's actually really it's not worse. They were both fails, but
I didn't want to call it.
yeah. Where do I put the exclamation point for it to explode?
After D6 exclamation point plus
Yeah, stuff.
stuff.
Okay. All right. So Shane, this could have been you.
Yeah.
What?
Wow,
Oh.
that was
What?
awful.
Riley, are you alive?
I
He's
don't know.
fine. I probably
you
did
It's
sure?
more
because he's still
damage.
sitting behind the rock, not looking when he's shooting.
Oh.
This
The
could have
rock
been
saved
me.
Yeah, this could have been you. Literally no damage.
You heal a little somehow?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the danger of filling it with spider eggs and not, depleted uranium and witchstone.
Mm.
Real weapons?
We see it shoot. It just turned on, so it's the weakest shot.
Yeah,
Oh
that was wild. Okay.
my
He still
God.
takes 1 because he has you have 5 for your
Okay.
health.
Still though,
What?
not too bad.
So
That's
what, am
funny.
I in seriously wounded now?
What were you
Uh,
at? Yeah, you go down one the
Moderate.
damage track, whatever it was.
So that means you're rolling for an injury.
The worst part is, well, it's not actually damage, but when it does damage, it heals too. Well, I guess if it succeeds an injury, he hasn't actually taken an injury yet. He's just rolling. But so you
What do I
roll.
roll for that?
What was it? 2d6, I think it was.
Seriously wounded is 2d6.
Yeah. So you roll 2d6, Riley. We see if you hit a 6 on either of them.
Look at
You're
these
fine.
Are you using like digitally weighted dice?
What?
ones. You know it.
He set the ones to
All I set the ones to
Aw.
max.
D1s.
Oh my god, that's wild. All right. Well, combat, everybody. Combat. The spider thrower's done. Josh.
I use an action point to take mercy on it.
Yeah, thank you. I needed it.
So with Rifon and the spider, without taking too much like scrutinize it, can I tell if like one's about to get the upper hand on the other?
The spiders are not having a good go of it right now, that's for sure.
Okay.
I am uninjured.
Okay. Do you want me to help blow that thing up?
I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Hmm.
I will incantate on it then.
Yeah.
Sha-na-na-na-na.
Cynthia used to drink Slurm.
Cynthia used to drink Slurm. Okay.
So that's going to be 14 damage.
Jesus. Were you hitting the spider or the thunder robot?
The spider.
Okay.
The spider.
Yeah. So that's two
no.
more.
Hey.
So I need to roll some stuff.
What kind of qualities does your attack have?
I
Such as
don't think that it has any. I can look it up more, but I just have one foe suffers D10 plus willpower bonus damage.
Okay.
If
what
my
spell is it?
silver dart, magic missile. If my PDF wants to load,
Silver dart.
it's called magic missile.
Oh,
It shoots a silver dart. Sorry,
Yeah.
I remember that part more than the name.
Mostly because it's funny.
no.
Yeah.
Critical success, which was not a critical success.
No,
You did not critical fail. Okay, it doesn't do anything else. Like
that's kind of what I figured.
some stuff
But yeah, worth checking.
adds to injuries.
Yeah. It's
It
always
did.
worth checking. Cool. So I didn't hit an injury, but you did two more. It's down to like I think also seriously wounded. So yeah,
Nice.
both robot spiders not doing very well. You can definitely hear some loose change kicking around in this bad boy, but
Yeah. I'm gonna save the other action points in case I have to get out of the way of another hot spider egg.
yeah. Hot ham water.
Beamed hams.
Deca?
That's me. And I'm gonna shoot again.
Yeah.
Aim and then shoot. I'm doing this right. Yeah. Okay. What did I get? I missed again.
Bullets going in every direction except towards the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
okay.
not towards me though.
Yeah, it's okay. Happens sometimes. All set?
Yeah, I'm all set. I gotta save my reroll for later when we actually need it.
All right, Raifan. So you pretty much have like the pick of the litter here. You've got two spiders, both very damaged. One backing off, one kind of going for broke, and then the this thing seems to be very, very slow moving.
Okay. I'm going to focus on the spider in front of me, and since it looks super damaged, I'm just going to go for it and make an attack right now.
All out attack.
So I get plus. I'm also going to aim, which I guess can you do that as a melee?
I don't think it's aim, but I believe there's an action that's functionally the same thing.
Okay, I will do that. And submit. Match critical success.
I don't
On
remember if that gives
damaging.
you another D6 or it maxes one automatically. I think you get another die either way.
Okay. I think it added it in already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh wait. No, I did. I just didn't change the damage. I will have to re-roll that. So that's D6 exclamation point plus agility bonus, which is what is that, 4 or 5? Plus 5 plus 1 for two-handing it. 9.
Damn. So how much total?
9
21?
damage.
Oh,
Just 9.
What was wrong with the 13?
I had edited the damage for the weapon to do an additional D6, and I forgot to remove it when I hit the initial roll button.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that is enough. It sort of just powers down, rolls over, and then all the robotic legs just crunch in at once.
I let out a primal scream.
Yeah, I mean, you have to when you kill the mighty robot spider.
And then I swap to my machine gun.
All right, this egg thrower has a chance of firing again, but usually it takes a while to spin up, so we'll see. If I hit a 6, it goes again. Ha. Oh, look at that. How funny. Another one. The 11th one.
Another one.
Another one. Oh, shit. I went at the wrong time with them, didn't I? My
It's
bad.
fine.
All right, Dax, go. I'm just really excited about my egg launcher. I thought it was funny.
It's nice.
Oh, I'm
Fun.
so scared with this egg launcher.
It's smart.
Can I throw a grenade at the egg launcher?
Absolutely. And what's nice is you can probably land it like right here and hit both of them or something. Like,
Okay.
Do you trust
that.
your precision?
No, but I'll do it anyway. What is it? It's a simple ranged,
Match success. Here it comes.
but I can spend a thing to aim, right? For frag?
yeah, I
Is
believe
that
so.
fine? Okay.
This is it. This is the reroll.
Didn't I use my last one already?
Oh, did you?
I think I did it for dodging. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Let's see, where are you? Go ahead and roll me a d8 real quick.
I don't like this.
It's fine. Yeah, it just comes off your hand sideways.
Wow. How did I manage that?
Yeah, wind resistance, I think. Yeah. It just ends up looking like cool special effects as everyone like walks up to go finish this thing off. All right. Josh, do you want to end one of these two poor robotic creatures?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for this one. I'm trying to my Adobe's like frozen right now. Does anyone remember if there's a way to like overcharge a spell?
You can channel to like be more likely to hit, but I don't think it gives you extra damage.
Channel.
Is that what the incantation rule is?
Yes. Yeah, you channel because incantation is do you succeed casting or not, and channel goes do you want a plus 10, 20, or 30.
Crap.
That?
I use the reroll.
Okay.
And I'm out. Meh.
Yeah. The etheric winds are not here for you right now. I want you to
No.
leave these robots alone.
I'm all set.
Deca?
I'm gonna shoot at the big robot. I want it to never attack again.
Yeah, reasonable.
Yeah, aim and then shoot. And a miss. But it would have been big damage if
But
I hit.
huge damage.
Good lord.
Like, oh man, that was 2 6s and a 5. Would have been great damage.
That would have killed
I
me
missed.
outright. No, it wouldn't. That would not have killed me outright.
All right, Ryphon.
Might have killed me outright.
Yeah, I'm going to burst fire. This
That would have
machine
killed me
gun.
outright.
Aim. Oop. Going to aim. And burst fire. So I get plus 20 because Shane is here, and aiming gives me plus 10. Oof.
Wow. I think just for the sake of not wasting time, we're gonna say so y'all's intention is to break at least the egg thrower, if not both of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that we could just say that happens, right? All of you begin piling on with it, either in close quarters with the chain swords and other weapons, or just many guns. Um,
Gonna
And
need a bigger gun.
yeah, and soon both of them are no more. Well, cool. The downside is this is not the pass you were looking for, but on the upside, I will say you can salvage one shot of the thunder cannon if somebody
Yes.
wants to tote that around just for funsies.
I can't fire it, but I can help carry it.
Yeah.
Thundergun Express is definitely worth it.
Yeah, no spider left behind.
I say we give it to either Dax or Deca, because I mean they already suck at shooting anyways, and you gotta flip the result.
Right.
Oh.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm down with that.
So which one of you wants to carry the big ass spider gun?
Spider gun. I guess
Like Dax
I'll
has earned it.
try.
You lived. You hit the spider with your gun too.
All right.
Did I?
You did.
Once. To no effect, but once. We're just gonna pick up with y'all at the site of the helicopters, the junk helicopters.
Mhm.
But we're gonna hit our second and final break for the night.
Okay.
Everybody cool with this one being a little quicker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the quick 5. Yeah. Okay. All right. We will be right back. Look at that, we're back. Back up, we cannot be stopped. So the rest of the trip into the actual like little hideouts and everything is not terribly complicated. I imagine they're not even very deeply like drilled or excavated into these like low mountains, right? He's just kind of taking advantage of whatever natural like rocky caves that exist and then just reinforce them a little bit. What that creates is two rooms on either side of like a narrow mountain pass, one of which has two helicopters that will fit 2 people each. So almost perfect. The other seems to have a few like it's almost like a tech dump. There's like lots of servos and the weird talking skulls that you all bought. You know, primitive laptops and data sticks and wires and cords and few like desks that look like they used to house like very small data centers and everything. There's like a glut of stuff that has been like kind of dumped and deposited here that doesn't really seem to have a home.
Okay.
Do we want to take time to look for anything valuable or helpful?
I mean, looking for stuff that will assist us is never a bad idea.
Yeah.
How much time do we
Yeah.
have to leave?
I mean, theoretically, it's your ship that you're gonna like bring down into low atmosphere. You can blow the rest of the like anti-aircraft batteries, theoretically at any time.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
Looking.
Yeah.
I'm not super techie. I guess I can help look, but I don't know what I would be looking for in character.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the tech people can get the non-tech people to help like move stuff around and separate into piles of like stuff we might need and stuff that is actually trash.
Yeah.
I lift things
Worst
up
case
and
scenario,
put it
we at least
down.
make it. What was that?
I pick things up and put them down.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, we just make it go a little faster.
So our 2 tech people, who's leading and who wants to just roll the d10?
I will roll the d10.
Okay, so Riley, hold on
All right.
before you roll,
Okay.
because there's going to be some information you gain. From how.
Wait.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so the preliminary, the first couple passes and steps on looking at this and everything, whatever's here, among many other things, still has like a phantom signal. Like it's still putting out some sort of like RFID, Bluetooth, some sort of like very low transmit. It's like, in fact, being in this cave and being disassembled the way it is, it's not. You don't think it's getting pretty much out of this little rocky pass. So you can fix it and maybe get a little more information, but it probably won't get out. There's a chance. You'd probably have to like bring it up higher for it to kind of make the connection. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then if you have no other questions, you can make your roll.
Yeah, okay, I'll just do the roll. Do the doobly do and hope for the best.
Devin, you've got a little bit of hissing, and Riley, you got very quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh. Did I? Hello?
It's like a little better. I just
Hey.
wonder if you moved back slightly. I'll boost you a little
maybe-
more too.
maybe a little bit. Anyway, I'll roll.
Damn.
Ooh.
So in fact, you can take Shane's 2, I think, and make it a match success, which I believe is a crit.
Hell yeah.
So this was a pretty tough check, and y'all nailed it actually. the information contained with here will do two things for you. One, remember how the Lake Swan was like talking about how important and special and how he had, business and property and money elsewhere?
Yes.
That is true. He has fantasy Bitcoin on this computer that you now have. So you can like extract that wallet. You'll have to bring some of this tech with you, but like you have it. Like dude actually had money, and now you too can have his money for the low cost of you didn't even have to kill him.
So the low cost of looting his remains.
Yeah.
Not like his body, but
Right.
what remains of his assets.
The second thing,
yeah.
and this is maybe like a bit of a revelation to like for how exactly this worked. I mentioned earlier that like the way that this prison planet was set up was that there was an understanding that like human and by extension other like peoples that are trapped here like just want to escape, right? Like no one wants to be captured, no one wants to live in a prison planet. And that kind of created some difficulties and some complications for like this AI that only exists to keep them there. And it seems at some point someone turned around and modified like some of the programming. And then perhaps beyond that, someone else modified some of that programming. What you have here is like an earlier version of this system, of the Brave system. And the file that you would reboot it back to is called friend computer.
Oh my god. I turn it into friend computer.
You what?
I want to turn it back into friend computer.
Yeah, you wanna revert the Brave system back to friend computer?
100%.
Okay. Yeah. Do you mention this to anybody, or do you just leave that on your own?
I don't know. I'd probably just be like, "Sweet, do it," and then not say anything.
Okay. So you have to you do have to bring the like the tech up with you high enough to like basically broadcast the signal, right? So it'll start impacting all of the other but yeah, you can you definitely feel confident you can do that. You quite literally have the technology.
Yeah. Like I'll let everyone know about the fantasy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But
And that's why you have to bring it with you.
yeah.
Okay. The only thing I will say, and I don't say this because I want to like I hate nullifying player action. But Deca, you definitely know that there was a signal thing going on here, right? Like you didn't end up looking into it a whole lot, right? But you kind of set him up for success. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I noticed the signal, and then me telling him like, "Hey, there's a signal over here," guided him to being better.
So I don't know if you want to look into it, ask questions, or if you don't care. He's like, yeah, there's like fantasy Bitcoin. We're going to bring this with us. And you're just like, okay.
I know there's a signal, and he said there's Bitcoin. And I'm like, wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. I do want to look into see like, how does the signal equal Bitcoin?
I don't know.
Which,
how Bitcoin works. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Steal it from
I don't know
net, the space net.
You steal it from the space net. That's exactly what I remember from my Bitcoin class.
Yeah. I'm going to use my education, I guess, to just check it out.
Okay.
To see how the signal turns into Bitcoin or whatever the signal's doing.
Sure.
I got nothing.
Yeah. So the conversation goes a little bit like that doesn't make sense, and then Dax turns it into, well, it's still mining, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. And now you totally believe that you need to bring the fantasy Bitcoin with you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll grab this side. You grab that side. We'll carry it up.
Okay, so you loaded onto the trash helicopters, and now you're going into space?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So this will be our final scene. We're gonna do one round of montage as y'all get on your ship, right? The end of an era, episode 6 of the Sixers. You killed everyone you came across, just about. Though out there somewhere is Juliet Zidal, guilty of abandoning. Perhaps someday we will return to this story, find the mad scientist that got away with it. I'm gonna set up the first problem, which is the computers are on the gyrocopters. The gyrocopters launch into the low atmosphere right about the time the rat men show up with their rocket pikes. So they can't actually fly, but some of them like launch like heat-seeking missiles, and other ones throw like rocket powered spears at you. And there's a lot of them. There's like 100 of them that have been tracking you. Go. You want to do popcorn initiative, or do you want to go around the table?
I'll go first.
Okay, we'll do popcorn then.
Yeah, so considering that only 2 of us know how to pilot these things,
Yeah.
that would be myself and Harkon. I would request that are we already in the air, or are we just
Yeah, you're in the air.
okay, all right. Well, in that case, I will turn to whoever is in my copter,
Sure.
and I'll tell them, open the window up. I'll tilt to the side, and you can shoot them with my machine gun.
Right, and like as he goes, and he sort of looks, he's like, "There's no window. It's just space."
To hold your breath.
Okay, so you rain down upon them and with your fully automatic or with the thunder gun?
Ooh. I guess thunder gun first.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck them all up.
All right.
And
Go ahead and just
this
roll a d6
gun-
real quick for me.
You want me to make it exploding?
No, because it's on a 6 it's very effective, and on a 1 you are covered in spiders.
Hmm?
Damn it! I rolled 11 ones when I was using it.
Because we shifted the system.
Yeah, so you can narrate that if you want, or we can all just be happy with you did it.
So I think it's best or funniest that I like tilt to the tilt the helicopter thing to the side, and we just like shoot out a fucking mass amount of spiders and webbing and whatever. But
Whatever else is in there.
fortunately, whatever else they jammed in there. But fortunately for us, the spiders were hatching as this was happening.
Sure. So is that the next problem?
I guess so. Now spiders are all over the rat people.
Or all over you?
Well, I rolled a 6, so.
Well, sure, but you have to set up the next problem for the next part of the montage. You could just be like, it was so powerful it knocked, the robocopter into the other robocopter. You know what I mean? Like, you can do anything for the problem.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you wanted to be spider related.
No, not spider related.
Okay.
Because I hate spiders. Not as much as Josh, though.
It's a high bar.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the next problem somebody has to solve?
The next problem would be my spaceship is no longer flying as straight as it could be. Or the window's blown out. Either or.
Yeah, we'll go with both. It's not flying very well and it's damaged. So who would like to take that one? You have to solve it and then create a new problem.
to me, it's very clear that the reason this trip isn't going as well as it could have is because we didn't we didn't properly prepare for the trip. So I'm gonna rummage through between my stuff and whatever's left in the garbage copter and find a really cheap bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold my breath and lean out and smash it on the ship.
Yeah, of course.
It's basically the Bon Voyage spell, which gives us better navigation tests. And then like throw part of the bottle towards the other ship helicopter.
Yeah. Okay.
Problem is now there's wine on the windshield, so it's flying better. You just can't tell where it's flying.
You just can't actually see anything. It's like too old.
Yeah.
It's all cloudy.
Yeah,
Okay.
gone back to grapes.
Yeah. Who has an action squeegee that they can use to fix this problem?
The action squeegee.
Wait.
I don't have an action squeegee, but I do have a plasma cutter that can be used to open doors or remove a window.
No.
Now both of them have no window.
We don't need windows.
Not where we're going.
There's no doors on the side of this, if I understood you correctly.
Yeah. Josh posted the photo of them earlier. They are basically lawn chairs with, helicopter blades attached.
It's like a go-kart that somehow manages to fly.
Right? There's this photo.
Hold on.
Is this it? Oh, this orc choppa.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Death Copta.
The
That's-
death copter.
That's like almost exactly what we're kicking around in.
All right. Yeah.
Like you have to remember they built these out of like ultra scavenged parts. You know what I mean? It is quite literally a miracle these things fly, and they only fly because no one told them they can't.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah. So laser
I'm gonna-
cutter the window
gonna use
out.
my laser cutter and just cut out the front window and like kick it out.
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with the cloudy, nasty wine bottles.
Yep. What's the new problem?
The new problem is our escape ship isn't able to lock on to our shit built, strapped together machinery. So
There's no way that's a real ship we have to look out for.
They're scanning for you, thinking you're actually looking for something. Like, look at that, some sort of weird robot bird. Let's shoot it.
What?
Uh,
Oh man.
so they
at
can't
that.
find you, and you're gonna run out of gas and or energy cells.
We're gonna run out of gas and or energy cell or belief that keeps this up.
Which means Riley, you have to solve this problem.
If you believe. I don't know. I feel like I could rummage together explosive things. I got some frag grenades. Since there's no windows, it's easy to just grab a frag grenade and throw it out the window
Right.
and just like follow the sounds of the explosions and the flashes.
Oh, that's so good, right? Yeah, just suddenly just explosions in the air and everything, and they're like, okay, I guess those aren't birds. Oh, it's them. Yeah, so they find you. And do you broadcast friendcomputer.exe from here, or do you wait until you're in the ship?
Oh, I'm totally gonna wait until I'm in the ship. I feel like these shoddy little junk copters can't do anything fancy.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, so if anybody wants like a final scene, or if anybody has like a question or anything, you should let me know now or very soon. Because like otherwise I want to just cut to Dax like plugging in his Bitcoin / remote installer and sending the friend computer definitely not virus out into the world.
Problem anymore.
What's that?
Eternal happiness.
Eternal happiness. That's
Yeah.
right.
No, I said not our problem anymore. We have eternal happiness now.
It's true. So you plug that in, and then the happy digital smiling face of friend computer shows up and says, I see you're trying to leave Charche.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to miss you. Will you promise to come back, citizens?
I promise to think about it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, we'll be back.
I'll think about you
I'm not really
as
sure.
often as I care about.
Not really sure what I should be doing. I was told that everyone had to stay here, that they were all prisoners, but there's no prisoner list.
So we
That
don't have to
must
stay
mean that-
there.
So my assumption would be that all people currently on the planet, ground level, not us five, because Toad's there, right?
Toad?
He's
Toad's
dead.
And,
Oh, died.
I mean,
Yeah, remember he
He's
got
still
shot by a
out.
turret.
Oh,
he's technically still there though. His body.
Body's there.
If no one's on the prisoner list, then there are no prisoners to keep on the planet. It's simple.
But I was told everyone on the planet, no one's allowed to leave.
Uh,
But I
pretty
can't
sure
treat
you're-
them like prisoners. It's a conundrum.
Right.
I'll just have to keep them busy, I guess.
yes. Have
Yeah.
them. There's some stuff in your hangar bay to make explosives. If you have them work and make explosives, I will come back and visit you.
Okay. We'll be here making explosives.
I look at the rest of the party. We did good work here today. Build
Yeah,
the
that
biggest
was-
bomb. Friend computer.
Yeah, it
Beautiful.
gives you a little digital wink, and then the screen cuts out. With that, do you re-enter space and resume your journey?
Yes.
back into space.
Then you get little space credits.
Yeah. Credits roll, and the closing scene would definitely just be friend computer smiling at you, and then inside one of its eyes, the coiling form of Metatron.
That'd be cool. I imagine like a little credit scene montage where there's just people like working together, building a bomb, forming a new society. Like we're like
They become the boomers from Fallout.
sci-fi like 90s music plays.
Oh, absolutely. Well, cool. Certainly not the direction I expected it to go, but had a lot of fun on Charche.
Me too. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised I lived.
I really thought I was gonna take somebody out with the boom cannon. I was considering like actually doing a combat with the rat people, but like it was so stacked against you. There were just so many, you know.
hmm
Well, thank God for those ones.
Any questions or shout outs before we get out of here?
Yeah, that was
No.
good.
No.
I don't know. Shout out to Zweihander for
Absolutely.
providing a really cool platform for us to do this on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge thanks.
As always, thanks to Daniel Fox and Adam for giving us the space to do it. They're very passionate about people in the community running games. So if you want to do that, I just hit the socials command. You can best way to grab them is the Discord, but they are certainly available on Twitter as well. And if you enjoyed the blend of grim and perilous, but also in the far future as opposed to weird fantasy, I also hit the Dark Astral command. Dark Astral is a chat book, which is to say a small book that goes alongside a different core book for most of the rules, and it updates your Grim and Perilous adventure to the not very good at technology far future. Cool.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
We have done it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
And
see you guys
Thank
around.
you.
we were Electric Dice Podcast. I mean, we still are, but now we're done today.
We were, and we still will be.
Still were, but we used to be too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.